Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. Glad to have you guys here. Today is March 12th, 2020. And here's the thing. They've been reacting slow all the way through the crisis. They react like, like, I remember when there was only like maybe 2, 3 people that had it in the whole United States. And I said what they should do is they should close the borders, and not let anybody in or out. Well, now they're closing. They're not letting anybody in or out. Nobody's allowed to travel between Europe. But it's like a day late and a dollar short. Well, now in the markets, it's the same deal. And we got big problems right now. Huge problems. The whole financial system could freeze. And this is a bigger threat than the virus. This is huge. Because if everything freezes, now, let's start the charts right here and take a look. Jim Cramer is saying, he says, they know nothing. I'm starting to believe that's true. These bureaucrats, I'm starting to believe that that's true. Sometimes you have to respond to something quickly. He says they know nothing. In other words, he says he's calling for government to suspend taxes. I don't think they should suspend taxes. I think they should even carry it one thing further. Whatever you were going to have to pay them in tax, they should send you. They should just reverse it. In other words, whatever your taxes are this year, or whatever you're going to have to pay, they should send it to you. And he says they should print their way out of COVID-19. He's exactly right. This is exactly what they need to do. And remember when I was on here and I was saying that they needed to close off America and not let anybody in or out back then? Right? Well, I was way ahead of the curve. If they'd done that, they wouldn't have any in America right now. None of it. If they'd done that. Well, this is the thing. The financial system's getting ready to freeze. And it needs money. It needs big money. And it needs it not just in the high end Wall Street. It needs it on the lower end. It needs it to support businesses. It needs it in a meaningful way. It needs it so it reflects to the average Joe, so that it helps the average Joe out and gets him through this crisis. It needs to be supported through this crisis because the average Joe's gonna not have any work. And he's not going to be able to leave his house maybe or whatever because of quarantines or whatever, right? He needs to be supported. He needs to have his family supported through this. Especially food production needs to be supported. It all needs to be supported by the government. They need to step in and do what they need to do to support everyone through this crisis. They need to print their way out of it. Just print money, not just for Wall Street, but now print money for the whole economy. Jim Cramer's right, and maybe they will. Maybe just like they delayed on all these other things that they needed to do, like closing America off. Now they're closing America off. Now they're saying no more traffic between Europe and America, right? They need to do that earlier. Well, they need to do this quick, too, before the economy collapses and freezes. And believe me, the economy can collapse and freeze, and it's in the motion right now of a collapse. The economy's collapsing. Let's take a look right here. Look at what's happening. It's deflationary collapse right now, occurring in real time. The most precious assets, here, take a look at what's happening with the silver price. Down 79 cents today. Silver's collapsing. And this is the economy collapsing. When you see gold and silver prices collapsing, this is deflation. This is profoundly powerful deflation. Let's take a look at gold. 1587 today. It's down $47 in one day so far. This is deflation. The economy's deflating. What happens is everything that's priced in the economy, businesses, uh, everything you own becomes worth less and less and less. Prices start to on everything except food. I mean, it's just a crazy situation we're in right now. But valuations on corporations and everything is just disintegrate. And the next thing you know, your markets are freezing up and everything's stopping, and the banks are all closing, and it's a bank holiday, and the people don't know what to do. This could lead. They need the support now. The financial system won't wait. They need to get sitting around a table real quick. They need to do some fist pounding on the table, arguing back and forth what they're going to do, and they need to do it now. They need to convene meetings and decide what to do and get out there and do something about this in the financial system. And they need to do it now, because this is turning into something really, really ugly and really, really fast. $47 down on gold there, it says. 1587. Let's take a look at crypto. Crypto's absolutely getting slaughtered. $167 billion market industry for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is almost getting cut in half. Look at the Bitcoin price, $6,000. And for Bitcoin, 6,048. And all the coins are just dropping like stones today, all the way across the board. They're down like 30%. Ethereum's down 31.5%. Bitcoin Cash down 33%. 37% for Bitcoin SV. Litecoin's down 32%. Just running through some of these numbers, This shows a deflation. This is a system that's deflating right now in real time. And it is not only painful and ugly to watch, but deflation can tear the financial system to pieces and leave it in ribbons on the floor. And basically what that means for the average guy is you go in to buy your sandwich or whatever at a restaurant today, and you go to use your card, and the banks could freeze up, and your card might not work, to buy your sandwich or whatever, and you go to make a withdrawal, and they don't have any cash, and it's just stuff like that can happen. If the financial system completely freezes up into a deflation, nobody will have any money. Along on top of all that's happening with this virus, this could turn into a really ugly situation. If they don't do something, they're in charge. They need to do things. They need to prevent things ahead of time. They need to get on top of things. Instead of being 2 days behind, they need to be in front. In front of this wrecking ball that's coming in. They need the Federal Reserve Chief, Chairman Powell, instead of waiting until the wrecking ball smashes the building, he needs to step in between the wrecking ball and the building and stop that wrecking ball from wrecking the economy and wrecking the world. Act as a buffer to keep the economy from collapsing and the wrecking ball from wrecking everything that we have. They need to stand between it so that so that this system will stay supported. They need to offer support. The World Health Organization, instead of just announcing what it is, it's like they're an observer rather than they're taking any active action. They just announce, okay, it's at this stage, and then now it's at this stage, and now it's dangerous, and now it's super dangerous, and now it's ultra dangerous, and now it's dangerous beyond point of recognition, and oh, by the way, soon we're going to announce it a pandemic. All these announcements, they're not actually, you got to get in there, you got to stop it. You can't just announce and announce and announce. Well, anyway, now this situation's escalating out of control. A situation that could have been stopped But now it's escalating out of control rather rapidly. And they're still sitting on their duff. You know? Soon they'll probably announce that something's wrong. Oh, something's wrong with the financial system. It's seizing up. What, 2 weeks from now, after it's all seized up? They'll announce it's seized up? I mean, get off your duff and do something about it before it completely seizes up. Because this is potentially more dangerous than the virus. And I'll explain to you exactly why. The virus out there, right? At least 80% of the population just has a flu. What, flu-like symptoms. And then they get over it, right? But the financial system supplies all of our food, supplies all of our water, supplies all of our electricity, supplies all of our internet and everything else. It supplies our gas for our cars to go down the highway and everything. Now, if all that were to shut off, right? How many people out there do you think that could survive more than, say, 60 days with all that shut off? And we know the flu, at least 80% are going to survive fine, and the other 20%, probably half of them will survive. Or more than half of them, right? So that's 90% or better would survive. But how many would survive with no gas, no food, no water, no electricity, no nothing, and just basically cut off from everything? How many is going to survive real good? You there? 90%? I don't think so. I think it would be more like, well, I'm not even going to give you the numbers. It would be so ridiculous. So the financial system provides us with everything. If it freezes and it can't function, don't let it get to that point. Do something now. Get out there and make some decisions, some hard decisions, and support this financial system with whatever it takes. Like Draghi had the right idea. Mario Draghi said, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. I mean, they got a print and press. They can print unlimited amounts of money. $20 trillion distributed the right way would fix this whole situation. I mean, fix it wouldn't make the virus go away, but it would hyperinflate the dollar, and it would quell this situation to a certain degree where they could carry everybody through it to the other side till they're all over it. Most of the people are over the sickness, and then they could just do some sort of a reset. Reset everything on the other side. And it wouldn't be a complete and utter total disaster. It would be something that would be more manageable. Okay, talked enough about that. Dow Jones today, it's only down a mere 1,700 points. 21,821 today, and it's dropping like a stone. It's, I guess, no, it's on the chart here. It's down 1,731 points today. So we're having our second 2,000-point drop day. So I gave you guys I said we'd have 2,000-point drop days. And we're having our second one right now. So there's our two. I don't think we're going to have a third. I think we're going to get some sort of a reaction from the Fed and from the central banks. I'm counting on them. I'm counting on them not to sit on their duff, to come forth with some sort of stimulating measures that are going to be meaningful rather than just some token, Anyway, let's take a look now at crude oil. Crude oil is down 7.22%. It looks like $30.60, down $2.38 on the day so far. U.S. Treasuries. And we're seeing these Treasury yields falling like a stone today. You know, we are down 1.26 on the U.S. 30-year, and we're down, what is it, on the 10-year, 0.66, it looks like. Anyway, it's a terrible situation we're in right now, and we need support through this entire situation, monetary support. And we need it not just for Wall Street, we need it for Main Street. And they can do this. They have, here in Canada, they've got our social insurance numbers. In America, they've got the social security numbers. It's exactly the same deal, you know. They know how much tax you've paid your entire life. All they got to do really would just be to take every person's social security number and find out how much tax they've paid their whole life and send it back to us. That would help. That would be a start, you know. Get on to this. I mean, you got a print and press. You can print as much money as you want. And you know who we are. You know all of our addresses. You know all of our numbers. You know? And you can just turn that money right around instead of being greedy. You've been greedy all these years with the average Joe. You've ground his nose to the grindstone all these years. It's time to help him through this crisis of this flu illness. Give him money so that he can buy some Campbell's chicken noodle soup and get over this, and buy himself some vitamin D, you know? And he can sit back and he can feel like his job is secure until this is over, rather than letting everything collapse so that he goes into the supermarket and there is no Campbell's chicken noodle soup, and there is no vitamin D, and there is no bank that he can go to collect his paycheck. You know, I mean, basically this thing is spreading around like a head cold, except it's a mutant deadly head cold from hell, you know, but it's spreading like a head cold. You know how a head cold rushed through the community and everybody's coughing with the head cold? Well, that's what this thing spreads the same way, you know. And head colds, they're here and they have a season and then they're gone. You don't have generally don't have this thing acts like a head cold, because there are head colds that are coronaviruses, you know. And so its cousins, I guess, are head colds. But it's a killer head cold. Anyway, so, I mean, I don't expect it to hang around forever. But the effects, if they let the economy completely freeze up and let the system fall into a deflationary spiral that takes it all down, then that could potentially be an awful lot worse problem than anything else that we face, you know? Because the system could lock up, and then in so many ways it would be hard to get it back up and get it running again. The whole world could turn into Venezuela. Okay, thank you guys for listening. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next show. Bye-bye.